thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess, and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the Detroit Regional Chamber Mackinac Policy Conference being taped at the Grand Hotel. Our topic today is public safety and Obamacare. Joining us now to talk about it is Michigan's Attorney General Bill Schuette. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Laurel. It's great to be on your show again, and it's nice to have this opportunity to talk about these issues and at this marvelous Mackinac gathering.
And to begin, public safety, obviously one of your jobs as our great attorney here in Michigan is to improve public safety, do what you can, and I know you do have an initiative out there that is working its way through Lansing right now called VO4, the VO4 initiative. What exactly is that?
Well, and thanks for raising this subject. And public safety is one of my important responsibilities as Attorney General, the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of our state. And I'm of the opinion that we need to make sure we have strong, tough laws to keep bad guys behind bars and more cops on the street. That's kind of an equation for greater public safety in the state of Michigan. And VO4 is an initiative that's in the legislature, passed the Michigan Senate Judiciary Committee. And what it would be is that if someone, a felony, a person who has 3 felonies, if they're convicted of a 4th violent felony of a specific violent assault, murder, kidnapping, what have you, would, upon conviction, deemed to be a habitual offender by a judge, would be behind bars for 25 years. And what it does, this mandatory 25-year sentence, VO4, would send a message that the lawbreakers need to be behind bars, and it pushes the public safety meter in Michigan in the positive direction.
How far is that different from what we're doing today, or does that just give the judges and the folks giving those sentences, something more to work with? Because it seems to me it's sort of natural. It's the 4th time you've created a violent crime. I want to put you away for 25 years.
Well, you'd think that'd be the case now, wouldn't you? And there was a police officer in Detroit, a guy named Officer Matthews, who was shot 5 times while he was pumping gas. And the perpetrator, the creep that shot him, got off with an easy sentence, and he had a record a mile long. And so the point is, if you commit a 4th violent offense, you're deemed a habitual offender with a disposition of doing violent acts. You ought to be behind bars. I think that's what public safety is all about.
Okay. So while you're busy trying to improve public safety in our state, I know you're sort of sitting and waiting to see what the ruling is going to be. The United States Supreme Court has a lot of big decisions that they're going to make before they recess for the summer. One of them has to do with this lawsuit that I believe it's 27 states, including Michigan, have filed against the mandate of Obamacare.
Well, you've got your math right, and June is the time when the 9 justices of the Supreme Court will make a ruling on this individual mandate, and Michigan is one of 27 states suing the federal government saying, hey, this individual mandate, which would require you and everybody in Michigan and across the land to purchase a product, insurance, and if you didn't do it, you'd be fined, is unprecedented in our country. And if this were to happen, then if this were to stand, I think it would start the fraying of the Constitution. So 27 attorneys general and I are saying this individual mandate is unconstitutional. It's beyond the scope and power of Congress, and I'm convinced we're going to win. And part of my job is to fight for the Constitution, stand up and enforce the law, and Obamacare is one of these things I'm fighting tooth and nail.
And so you have nothing else to do at this point? There's nothing you can do to fight, to argue? You just kind of wait and see what they ponder and how they decide?
Well, we made the oral argument in March of this year, and in June is when the Supreme Court will issue a whole number of decisions on a wide variety of cases, one of which will be Obamacare. And I'm convinced that our argument that the Congress acted beyond their powers, imposing a mandate, is unconstitutional, and it really impacts the 10th Amendment, where those powers are reserved to the states, not the federal government. So I'm very confident in our argument, and I think in the end we're going to win.
All right, well, good luck, and we'll all be waiting to see what that decision is. I know it's not the only big decision they have coming up, so lots of work for them, and certainly will affect a whole lot of us here in the state of Michigan.
It's a really important constitutional decision. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today.
You bet.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Michigan's Attorney General Bill Schuette.